I have to break in. We were negative money flow. We had the biggest 5.4 million shares money flow coming in at 12.49 on the tape. We can also demonstrate right here on that human Genome, right here on the closing bell. Let's take a look. There was some huge institutional shares going off. 69,000, 93,000. Look at that money flow. That money flow was really low on the day. But guess what, folks? Right at going into the closing bell on a Friday, and SMF has done a great job on covering this manipulation and documentary with the live entries and risk management and everything, but we've seen a big increase in money flow, and that big money flow hit the tape with the big volume flow, and you can see it right here, the big blocks of shares. We got 15.6 million traded, and look at that money flow. We're going to see if it goes up, and I'll be right back. But that was a big, you don't go from negative money flow to that unless you have these big blocks that were being purchased, MMTs. I will come back to the big money flow, and we'll see what happens in the next 9 pennies, and see if, now that the big money flow came in, do others follow? We're going to find out, MMTs, just how this money flow rolls. As we go into the human Genome, we're taking a look at the November call that expires next week. It's a $29 call. Remember that in pre-market, and there's 15,000 contract volume traded on these right now. People are buying huge, and the money flow is increasing going into the closing bell, and this contract expires. Look at that volume, and that means that this thing is going to have to gap up to $32 during the expiration. These people are buying, and we can see that money flow. Right now, we have exactly 5 minutes to the closing bell.
They're hedging it with the $15 put. That's at 15,000 traded.
And that's the $29 call. It also has been brought to my attention for the November options expiration that we've got people paying up right here. The 15,000 contracts traded on that back end of that November, that this expires next week. That means all this money here, this stock pops up, these go to zero.
The $40 January call is traded 14,900.
We are going to take a look at another contract, another big $40 call option, 14,920 contracts traded on the expiration for the MMTs, 122, 2011 $40 call, monster buying. The low was 36 pennies, and they have bought. That means what they believe, that on 122 of 2011, that human Genome will be higher than $40. Based on a Benlysta approval and a GlaxoSmithKline breakout. And that's that implied volatility on human Genome going into that closing bell. We got the big block count, big daddy shares over here. We've got that big increased money flow coming into that closing bell on a Friday with 3 minutes to go to the final countdown. Let's take a look at it going. We can see those blocks of shares coming in right here. Take a look at that. This was negative all day. People are buying the dips. I'm going to come back to the last final minutes. Look at that money flow across that tape on 16,181,350 shares. Here we go right now into the final closing bell of human Genome Sciences. We can see that big block shares buying. We just went over some of the biggest call buying and call strike prices on this video. You'll see it made right there. You're going to understand that this is a well-documented live action series on how they manipulate stocks, how they manipulate new drugs coming to market. Everybody's attitude, it's showing up in that volume. It's showing up in that money flow. We've got increased buying. We've got people going down to the wire with that human genome at 8.4 million, 8.3. Look at that thing go. 62, 63. Ken Flag is riding that. We're about to close. We got 1 minute left. What we're going to see is any big buyers or sellers making the irrational decisions or not. Here we go. There's that closing bell.
21,000.
Here comes that closing bell. Look at that. 21,000 share block bought. 21,000. It's kicking around. It's kicking its tires. That closing bell. There it goes. There it goes. Look for any big blocks right over here. That is the closing bell on Monday. FDA panel review up on approval for Tuesday. Go to stockmarketfunding.com. Go down to there and get on that talk radio show that we put together. We've got a series of videos that will be released. It's all about how they're doing that biotech. And it's Friday, November 12th, and that was the human genome.